Yeah, and Jared, sorry to answer your question. What I think that the team that he should go to is maybe
That's
right. That
yes, that's who I was gonna say.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorm Debate podcast. We are back 2 weeks in a row before the season starts. How about that? These are like bonus episodes for everybody. I hope everyone's enjoying them. Caleb, you have finally arrived. Last podcast, it was just us three. You've now come to join us. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Good to see y'all. I'm excited. I can't wait for football season. These topics you got for us, Jared. I'm genuinely curious what y'all are thinking.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. We only got two topics. The first one, the big news, Jonathan Taylor, Colts running back, has gotten what? Granted to seek a trade, whatever that means. Jonathan Taylor right now, DraftKings odds has the best odds to land Jonathan Taylor is a little team down south, Miami Dolphins. Now,
interesting. Very
they
interesting.
They were also the favorite to land Dalvin Cook, and they were
Never
also
happened.
the favorite to land probably Zeke and all these other running backs, but yet they just keep striking them down. Nobody wants them.
They're just friend zoned by every running back, I guess.
I mean, they might want him now because of A-Chain had a little bit of an injury, so we'll see how he progresses in the coming weeks. I think he had a shoulder injury. But let's talk about Jonathan Taylor. Landing spots. Where's the best landing spot for Jonathan Taylor? Basically, in the peak of his career, I think he's only played about 3 or 4 years. Last year did have some injuries. Caleb, I don't know if you had him in fantasy. Did you?
Was it? I did, and this is I'm not gonna. I can open up if you want because I don't know where he should go, but I just know I can't afford to pick him number one overall again. And I got hurt too bad,
Especially in this case, where he's
because I
getting
dropped
traded.
him. I believe it was either a year ago or 2 years ago, and Jonathan can fill me in because what had happened, he wasn't performing. I drop him, and then Jonathan picks him up, and he does amazing. So he's got it in him.
He's
but he was
burned you too
injured.
many times.
Well,
I can't get hurt again.
See, it's not like Jonathan Taylor, he's requesting a trade because he's like, bad. Like, and the Colts are trying to trade him because he's bad. It's basically this running back market. It's just become a theme this whole offseason. Every running back and their mother thinks they're getting paid too little for their job. And Jonathan Taylor's like, look, I played really well. I've been over 1,000 yards 3 of the 4 years or 2 of the 3 years. I think I deserve a long-term deal. And the Colts are like, well, no, because you were injured last year and you need to prove yourself once again. And so you're in this pickle of like, yeah, Jonathan Taylor should prove himself this year. This is his last year of his contract, so he should be able to prove himself on this rookie deal. Or should the Colts be like, let's take a bunch of money and 4 to 5 years and lock us in on this running back that at a position at like the running back position, you only have about 6 to 8 years of good years. And that's at best.
At best.
At best. So,
Which sucks.
I mean,
because how much he's still on the rookie contract? You said
still on the rookie contract. So that's why he's like, I want more money and I want commitment by the Colts.
Yeah, but what do the Colts have? Who do the Colts have to pay? Why don't they just pay the guy? The only reason anybody's going to any of their games is because of Taylor. If he doesn't go, if he's not on the team, okay, maybe Anthony Richardson, but he's nothing yet. We still haven't even seen him. He's not that exciting yet. Like, why don't you just pay Taylor? I don't get it.
I mean, what's the point of paying him now if you don't expect to really win now? Anthony
Because
Richardson
do you want? I mean, as an owner, you're just trying to make money. Do you know all these owners make so much money? But there's a big difference between winning 2 games and winning 10 games. Or, I mean, if they didn't have Taylor, they'd win 2. If they have Taylor, they're going to win like 7 or 8. There's a big difference there. 5 wins.
Well, that's what I'm saying is a lot of these running backs, sometimes it doesn't convert to wins. So not only do you but get this Jonathan Taylor for 3 to 5 years, but like it's not a guarantee that him on your team is going to make you better.
Right, but I'd say probably 50% of the people in the stadium are wearing Taylor jerseys. Who are they, other than that, who are they going to wear? They're going to wear Richardson. Like,
it'll be
that's
Richardson.
that's the reason people are going.
I think if Jonathan Taylor was fully healthy all season last year, we'd probably be having a different conversation.
Right.
But
For
like
sure.
it's too risky to give him all that money and then he's probably gonna miss half the season. He's like, no. Jim Irsay or Saray, however you pronounce his name. Irsay. He's like, no, I'm not gonna waste my money if this guy's gonna miss like half the season. That's gonna be a slap in the face. And also again, they're not trying to really win right now. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to win games, but Anthony Richardson's developing, right? So they can afford to lose a little bit, I guess.
Right, but if they didn't want to win right now, or they knew that they're not planning to win now, they're planning to win in 5 years, that means Taylor doesn't fit in the plan, because if you're signing him, you want to win within the next 3, maybe 4 years if he lasts that long. So why would they, like Jared said, grant him permission to seek a trade? Why don't they say, all right, we're shopping Jonathan Taylor? They're basically saying, all right, Taylor, you can go, you and your agent could try to talk to some people, but nothing's going to happen.
You can look,
Yeah.
but don't touch. Don't touch. It's weird. I've never heard that before. Yeah, we grant you permission to seek a trade. So that must mean that his agent is able to go to different teams and shop, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I
don't know.
was. I mean, because I think we like to think we know what we're talking about, but I don't know the significant details of like a contract like that and
Yeah.
why. Because what I'm thinking is, why is it different from Barkley's, where it's kind of a stalemate, where they can lock him down for a year with a franchise tag, but then him to get out of it, he can't necessarily go to another team on his own, but he can sit out, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the difference in terms of maybe they're just being more amicable? Maybe this is, negotiation tactics on both ends, because I think it sucks, and I think the league is going to have to adapt, because I think running backs for sure are, because like you said, like I don't think he has to prove himself outside of anything regarding ability. I think does come down to health, and but then again, it's not like how much of it is he injury prone? I don't quite think he is. Or when you're the workhorse of you're the workhorse running back on an NFL team, that you're going to get banged up. Like what running back at that level of carries can not get hurt?
Right.
I was thinking even Derrick Henry's pretty durable, but he was out a couple games. So I think the age of those super contracts you might have seen in the 90s, early 2000s, the game has changed. But there is an interesting like caveat where the franchise tag a running back, I believe it's the average of like the average salary. And yet that average is like the highest. It's supposed to maximize the amount of money they get paid, but it's not quite enough to be viable for what you're probably worth potentially in the market, and you're putting your body on the line.
Well, because most of the running backs that are considered to be franchise tagged, the reason that a team would franchise tag is because their contract is up and they want to see if this guy is worth a long-term deal. So the only guys that are going to get franchise tagged are the guys that are actually worth more than the $10.9 million that is the franchise tag value for this year for running back. So like Saquon, Jonathan Taylor, Jacobs, none of them are happy with that, because obviously they're all worth more than that. We never see a running back that's worth less than $10 million get a franchise tag. That'd be stupid. You might as well just pay the guy $5 million or whatever. Like,
Yeah, and if you just look at recent history, I think I did a video on this. Right, Zeke, that was a big contract with the Cowboys, 6 years, $90 million. Right, who else got paid? Todd Gurley. Right, look where he is now. He's not in the NFL. So if you look at those recent precedent, transactions, you start to realize that, hey, it's probably not a smart idea to pay these running backs big contracts. And Caleb, you hit it right on the head. It's mainly because of the injury, right? If you know it, running backs generally get injured, right? You shouldn't pay them a big contract, because you can make the team better in another area rather than just focusing on a running back. It makes sense to pay a quarterback big money, right? They're the key pieces of the team. It makes sense to pay a defensive end or whatever. But like a running back, they're most likely guaranteed to get injured because of every single play. You have to either run the ball or you have to, pass block. And so every single play is like a collision. And so, yeah, it's tough to find an all-purpose running back that can stay healthy like multiple seasons. It's just, I don't see that happening anytime soon. So,
but it's going to be interesting, because the two sides, the team and the player, they're going to have to come to an agreement, because we saw with all this running back talk, Le'Veon Bell came out a few weeks ago, and he was a top 3 running back in the entire NFL in 2017. And in 2018, he ended up sitting out because he wanted a contract. And he was talking about all the running backs now that are complaining about money and stuff. And he said, if I could go back in time, he said, I wish I never left the Steelers. And
Yeah.
even if he had to take a pay cut, because and I think that the Steelers would say the same thing. I wish we didn't let him walk. So at the end of the day, Jacobs needs the Raiders. Raiders need Jacobs. Taylor needs the Colts. Colts need Taylor. I mean, you're literally the top running back on your team. You're getting all the carries, like Saquon, Eckler, these guys that are getting franchise tagged. Like, you're still making good amount of money. And unfortunately, the team has the advantage in this negotiation because of the injury potential for running backs. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out in the next year or two. But I think we're going to see a lot more situations go towards them trying to figure it out, or these running backs just accepting the franchise tag like Eckler and Saquon did.
Yeah, and Jared, sorry to answer your question. What I think that the team that he should go to is maybe the Chicago Bears.
That's
right?
Yes, that's who I was going to say.
Yeah, that fits perfectly with Justin Fields.
Yeah.
You're not asking Justin Fields to do too much. You have a good, solid running back, but yet Justin Fields can make plays when you need him to make plays. We've seen that over the past year. And so I think he's a perfect fit. Yes, I know they have Herbert and Foreman, but this guy's an immediate running back one.
Yep.
And he has that additional support with those two guys, right? You're not going to ask him to be on every single play. So I think with that dual threat capabilities with Justin Fields and Jonathan Taylor like this, I think that'll be a more dangerous Chicago Bears team. And yeah, you said the Dolphins. The Dolphins, in my opinion, have too many running backs, right? They have Jeff Wilson, right?
Jeff Wilson, Mostert, A-Chain. I mean,
A-Chain, yep.
This is just
so it'll be
ridiculous.
Overkill. Yeah.
Taylor's
I
probably
agree with
better
you. I agree with
of
you,
that
Jonathan.
lot.
What did you say, Caleb?
Of that lot on the Dolphins, he'd probably be the top guy though. Taylor.
Oh yeah, he definitely would. But would he want to go to a place
Right.
like that?
If he's going for money, then it's like who knows.
True.
But if
Exactly.
Bears does make a lot of sense in terms of if you want to win Super Bowls and be part of a contending team.
I mean,
Because I think it says something about the Colts. Because this is the window to what?
And they have the cap space, by the way. The Bears have the cap space to pay him if you.
Well, the thing is, he's got to move to the NFC. The NFC is not nearly as competitive as the AFC, so the Bears fit that criteria. I totally agree with Jonathan there.
Bears and Super Bowls don't go in the same sentence. At least not as of recently.
Neither do Cowboys and Super Bowls, but
I don't know, man. Five.
not recently.
Not in this millennia, but
I
haven't seen it.
I had the same thought, and I was thinking the Ravens, for pretty similar reasons. On the fact that, Justin Fields and Lamar kind of the same, they throw the same, but they have that running ability. But with Lamar, I think he needs that elite running back in the backfield because the last couple of years, his sacks have increased and his games that he's been playing has been decreasing. And I think he only played 12 games last year. So he's definitely getting injured more. He's not going to be able to run anymore. He's getting sacked more. The line's terrible. So I think he needs an elite running back in that backfield to get back to his full form. I think it's been done recently for Lamar. Like, he can't do it all. It's just not possible for him to do it all with this team. And they got him receiver help, Odell, Zay Flowers. Get him some running back help. Get another elite threat so that when you run that option or you run a play action, it's actually a threat and not, J.K. Dobbins, who's had freaking 2 ACL tears and can't lift his knee over his waist. We need an elite running back like Taylor who can actually pose as a threat to the defense. So it's kind of the same boat with the Bears, but obviously the Bears have cap space. Who knows what a team will trade for Taylor? Probably a 7th round pick and a printer, knowing these NFL trades.
I mean, the Colts did say that they want equivalent of a first rounder,
which
if it's
never
not a
happens. Though it never
equivalent
happens.
of a first rounder. I mean,
so
he is in a prime age.
Would you rather have the Bears first round or the Ravens first round? Who's going to be worse this year?
The Bears. I mean, come
Right.
on. They were like the second overall pick this past year. They're not going to get that much better than that.
Yeah.
They'll get to like 500.
And the Ravens are always going to be just middle ground.
Yeah. I mean,
not
they'll be
always.
about the same.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the Ravens because I was thinking about that when y'all were talking about the Bears because there's obviously a lot of drama with Lamar's contract and stuff. But to be fair, in some respect, like how many injuries the Ravens dealt with over the past year, 2 years, not just Lamar, if regarding any of his durability, but just as a team, the number of injuries they had to deal with. I think, do you attract the talent like Taylor to be more durable? But part of Lamar's game outside of I'm not critiquing him for being a running passer or anything like that, but any quarterback will succeed, like you're saying, Jared, with a prominent running back. But I think especially a guy who can use play action and actually keep defenses honest, like Fields, like Hurts. I mean, you see, like with the Eagles not paying Sanders, this is a from the running back perspective, it's a problem if you're making big bucks. On the other hand, the game's changing. Like I think you might see those big contracts with receivers more because the refs are kind of protecting receivers more than they ever have, and you're seeing more of a split backfield committee, and that's in a way you get paid less, but there's a chance that you play longer. Like most or all these other guys. I mean, I named one person, but you might see running backs maybe not have that workload like
Boston
a Henry.
Scott.
But
Look
but
at
be
him.
an NFL player for more than 3 years, which is like the average. So and your body's more. So maybe you're making less money, but I don't know. Maybe the game's changing, but I don't think I wouldn't go the way of saying the run game isn't important because of course this is football. Like anytime there's a lot of passing, you always need a run game, And but I think the Ravens could use him well too. I don't know if that's where I would pick because it's just more like what's he looking for? Does he want to compete? Does he want money?
Yeah, I think he does want to get paid, and so from a management perspective on the Ravens side, I wouldn't pay him. Right? They have a good offensive line. They have great blocking always, like every year, and they have so much running backs. You don't need an elite running back to run behind that O line.
Who?
And so from that,
Ravens?
the Ravens, not in my opinion. Right? You can put anybody back there, Justice Hill, J.K. Dobbins, or whoever.
Yeah, but Taylor would be that magic element, though.
Yeah, he would. But I just don't think management would pay him, right? And so, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see.
Oh yeah,
who's interested.
What team do you think, Caleb? Did any come to mind?
I mean, when you mentioned the Dolphins, I would say the Dolphins probably need him the most, but would that be the best fit? I saw an article that was like the Cowboys was one of them, but I don't get that. Like, I don't know what you think about that, Jonathan.
That'd
you
be
got Pollard, like
serious
right
firepower.
Jerry
like,
Jones says we're good at running back.
Yeah, we're good at running back. I agree with that.
Yeah, and I would agree. I don't know why that was on the list, but I think Miami probably needs him the most. I feel like I like the Ravens the most in terms of that team. If he stays healthy the whole year, would be contenders in my eyes. If Lamar and Taylor were healthy the whole year, those guys are playing. It just opens up that offense so much. Whereas with the Bears, that might be the best fit in terms of contract and their need and his needs. But for me, the question as to whether they'll be good and compete is Fields the guy? Is really like that question. And then I think we all have individual answers about that. But I think with Taylor, I mean, he's kind of seen a lot of regime change at quarterback. So maybe he's looking for a stable position because it sucks because a lot of times players go into team organizations and their fate as an NFL player is tied to what the organization's doing, the quarterback situation. And he's seen a lot of turnover at the number one position. It's like, so it's not like he's trying to get number one paid, but maybe he'll want, I'd see a con to the Bears and Dolphins is are Tua and Fields the guys, whereas Lamar, they get him locked up for the contract and all that.
And the Bears O-line is not the greatest. So they need to prove themselves, not only Fields, but that O-line, definitely.
If he wants to pay with the best quarterback, he should stay with the Colts, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're hot on Richardson.
Yeah, and I'm high on his upside, yes.
No.
Maybe not right now, but
He's a rookie, yeah.
This guy is...
No, he's not that good.
I gotta give him a chance.
Jonathan,
oh my God.
We'll look back on this podcast in 3 years
Please.
and you'll forget this guy even existed.
Are you kidding? Dude, this guy is going to be...
John, are you sure?
I'm telling you. You'll see.
It's a big...
He's not going to be that good.
Both of you. Now, he hasn't played in the NFL yet. How are we so definitive?
Come on. How are you so confident?
I should be... Again, I keep on saying this. I should be an NFL scout. I know
Jonathan.
talent when I see one.
Jonathan,
This guy's talented.
did you see Mike White coming?
Oh
I
man.
did not.
Hey, but if the Colts have their guy, who knows?
We've partnered back up with Manscaped to give you guys 20% off and free shipping on all their items. That includes the Beard Hedger and all their below-the-waist grooming products. We all know how injuries can ruin a season, so let Manscaped protect that Reggie Bush of yours with their skin-safe technology. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have created a championship lineup with their Performance Package 4.0. And it's time for you to do the same. Join the 9 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get ready for kickoff by going to manscaped.com and getting 20% off and free shipping when you use the code DORMDebate. Let's talk about America's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
No.
So you were pretty down the last time people saw you when the 49ers beat them in the playoffs. Pretty down on this team. Is the hype back up again after these offseason acquisitions, namely Brandon Cooks, receiver, and Stephon Gilmore, cornerback? Both.
Yeah.
I mean, Brandon Cooks, solid number 2, and then Gilmore, obviously we all know Stephon Gilmore is a CB1. So the question to you, Jonathan, are those offseason pickups enough to propel them to the NFC Championship? You guys lost Zeke, you guys lost Dalton Schultz, and you lost Brett Maher. How are you going to survive without Maher?
Oh, we're definitely going to survive without Maher. I'm so glad he's gone. I think he's on the Broncos now. Good luck, Broncos. So, yeah, those are great pickups we got. Stephon Gilmore. We have somebody to cover the best receiver on the 49ers, Deebo Samuel. We already have Trevon Diggs, right? He's already good. He can get interceptions, make turnovers. And then, right, Brandon Cooks is that deep threat, which is great. But, Jared, I think, the most important question, or the more important question is...
No.
Deuce Vaughn.
I knew you were going to mention him.
This guy is
4'8" Deuce Vaughn.
So now we have Tony Pollard, and we have Deuce Vaughn. Ooh, teams are in trouble this year. Let me just tell you that. Teams aren't in trouble. So you have those two guys, and you have Brandon Cooks now, and you have CeeDee Lamb. Okay? Ooh. It's over. It's game over. It's game over. In terms of offense, we can score on anybody now. And so our defense was good last year. Hopefully they keep it up. But guys, this is a scary team. I think people are starting to see that. And I think that was a steal of the draft, Deuce Vaughn. Now we know who the steal of the draft was. Out of everybody, it was Deuce Vaughn.
Wait. How are you saying we already know who the steal of the draft?
Well, everybody knows. Everybody's seen the season. Like, oh wait,
it's preseason. They're playing third string guys.
But they're all playing the hardest. Everybody's playing. They're competitors. They're athletes. They're like, nobody's just gonna sit there. No, they're playing their best. Deuce Vaughn. Everybody's seen like that star, Deuce Vaughn. He's the guy. This guy's the real deal. And so Tony Pollard, he has a chip on his shoulder. He's gonna try to play his best because this guy's gonna outshine you if you don't play. And so we have that tension like we had last year with Zeke and Tony Pollard. And so that's gonna create a great product for the Cowboys. So I think Dak, he's not gonna have to do as much as he has in the past. We have so much weapons now. And so yeah, the Cowboys got better. Now you have a little bit better defense. And we didn't have Gilmore last year. Now we have Gilmore and you have Diggs. That's the guys. This is a scary team. So we have the recipe needed to beat the 49ers. Brock Purdy. I didn't put this in. I've been doing the NFL news of the day. I didn't put this in there, but like almost every day I see something about Brock Purdy throwing interceptions. Apparently he's thrown almost 10 interceptions in training camp alone. Okay.
Wow.
49ers are in trouble.
That means they're testing. That means they're testing him now. They're just testing him.
They're in trouble. Let's just.
They're not showing their best plays.
Jonathan, I think you're overlooking. I think you're overlooking who your biggest competition is going to be this year.
Don't even say the Eagles. We beat the Eagles easily last year.
It's not the Eagles. The Eagles are not that good.
Can I gloss over? Okay.
It's your week.
They're not that good.
It's your week 1 opponent.
The Giants.
They're gonna, Jonathan. I can't wait until week 1 because the Giants are gonna beat you on Sunday Night Football, and you're gonna be like, oh, "Wow, the Cowboys just aren't that. The Cowboys aren't gonna be that good this year."
He's gonna need some self-reflection.
No. Take a look at some of Saquon Barkley's recent interviews. you tell me he's not going to play with passion on the Giants this season.
Have you
Because
seen?
how they treated him so badly. He's like, man, should I even play on this team? So
That
given
was
that,
a while ago.
he's not going to play. He's not going to run as hard as he's not going to be the best.
Why wouldn't he? Does he want a deal or not?
I mean, everybody knows what he can do, but because of the way the Giants treated him, he has to take care of himself. He can't get hurt, right? And because of that, he's not going to push himself to, do overly well. I think the Giants are going to be good with Waller, right? I mean, Brian Dabble's good, and he's that tough coach that you guys have always needed. But the Cowboys are just on a different level. Too much talent.
There is a lot of talent, but
I'm being serious, guys. I'm not even trying to be biased.
No, the reality is
when are you not trying to be biased?
I'm saying this. I mean, everybody's good now. Like everybody, the line. We already know the line's good. The offense, nobody's gonna stop us on offense. We know that. Defense, if nobody
I
gets
don't know how
injured,
you could say that nobody's
Parsons
gonna stop you on offense. Your defense is better than your offense.
This season, I mean, everybody. I think they're both good. That's what I'm saying. That's why they're Super Bowl contenders. Everybody's good now.
But here's my question. You got to play the Eagles twice. So that's 2 losses.
Easy. Giants twice. I mean, that could be 1-1.
Not to offend the NFC East people, but
you're gonna.
They're not really our competition at this point.
This is how it always happens.
They're just not our competition at this point.
You lost the NFC East. You lost the NFC East.
That was a hoax.
What?
I mean, dude.
In your mind, I think I recall you mentioned Samuel and the 49ers are your enemy this year, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like that's like you're trying to engineer a team to beat the 49ers.
Yeah. And I think that's right, but I think they may be in trouble even before the playoffs come. Brock Purdy, listen, I'm calling it right now. Remember this moment. Brock Purdy is not the guy for the 49ers. They're going to be in trouble, and everybody's going to realize that.
Jonathan, whoa! Can you settle down for a second? Purdy is better than Dak Prescott.
Whoa!
You did not say that.
I just did. Did. And guess what? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna come back to this episode when the season ends. Okay, what do you want to go based off of? QB rating, wins, losses. What do you want to do?
So QBR is the most important.
Okay,
then wins and losses.
Then wins. Okay,
we'll take those into account.
I guarantee Purdy is going to be better than Dak.
Purdy, guys.
Purdy is the real deal.
I've been keeping up with training. Purdy is in trouble. This guy has been throwing interceptions left and right.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. Remember 2 years ago when Jamar Chase was dropping every ball in training camp? And I said, guys, Jamar Chase will be rookie of the year. And everybody in the comments is like, John, you're stupid, whatever. And he wins rookie of the year. He gets over 1,000 yards.
I mean,
training camp doesn't really mean that much.
But this
Wait
guy's
till the season starts. Dude, he's in. Okay, Jonathan, you're going to regret that because he gets to play the Cardinals twice, Seahawks twice, terrible defense, Rams twice, terrible defense. I mean, Cardinals, did I say them twice?
Cardinals, like it. The Seahawks, they might be sneaky good.
No, they suck on defense.
Well, again,
you can't even say anything.
It's a new year. It's a new year. We got to go.
Yeah, this guy, he's not a rookie anymore. He's a sophomore. He should have experience. People said this is going to be the guy, right? He's replacing Trey Lance. He's replacing all these guys.
Is he officially
Dude, have you seen the difference between Purdy and Trey Lance?
Dang.
They're like 4 or 5 interceptions in training camp. Fine.
I mean,
about 10. It hurt like hard as around.
Did you see Deshaun Watson had 3 in one practice?
Even
everybody has it. It's not a big deal.
You guys probably haven't seen this, but even reporters were talking to Kyle Shanahan about this. They're like, is he still the guy? Like, guys, unless he melts at practice or something, he's gonna be
exactly.
I think I have
exactly. He knows he's talented.
I have the same gut feeling about Purdy. I just didn't want to go out and say it, but
yeah.
Don't do this to yourself, Jared.
I definitely, John. I think I don't know if I told you, but I definitely have a gut feeling that Trey Lance will get significant playing time like mid-season. Like there is gonna be
Caleb, come on, help me.
Caleb, mid-season meltdown.
Talk some sense into these two.
Jared, you're saying meltdown, or you have a premonition that he's gonna get injured and Trey Lance?
No, not injured. No, Brock Purdy won't get injured. It's just gonna be the play. There's gonna be a stretch of him not playing well, and they're gonna say, "Look, we have Trey Lance. We drafted 3rd overall."
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, "We at this point, Brock Purdy, his life cycle is over. He had his run." It's over. They're gonna contemplate. They're gonna be like this. They're gonna say, "Look, Trey Lance is sitting, and we drafted him 3rd. Why did we draft him? Brock Purdy we
already
drafted
tried
last.
Trey Lance. They already
No,
tried
they
Trey
haven't.
Lance. He's
He
not
got
that good.
He got injured. He got
Teams have
injured. Didn't get a
Well,
fair
okay.
shot.
How many times you want him to get injured?
It was only one time.
No,
no,
it was
no more.
twice.
No,
Ideally,
teams do have film on Brock Purdy now, right? So they know his weaknesses.
Exactly. That's why my gut feeling is like that. Second year around, what they expect from Brock, there's no way he's going to be able to overthink those.
Oh, he's not going to do the same as he. I mean, for him to finish as good as he did last year would be very difficult. I agree with that, but there's no way he's going to get benched. I could tell you that. If he gets benched, it's maybe for a game, and it's probably because he's injured or something.
No,
Trey Lance brings that athleticism that Brock Purdy doesn't have, and that's going to add value to the offense that they're going to miss. That's what they're missing to go to the Super Bowl. They need that. It's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. That would be my prediction.
One game away with Purdy.
I know, but it was a good run. But who knows? It's been a long off season. It's been a long off season, and he got injured.
He got surgery. Right? Did he get surgery?
Surgery, yeah.
That is true. That could be a factor. More injury than anything. I don't know if it's skill because, I mean Brady's an exception, but it just you see quarterbacks that get drafted later had less. They have more chance to develop, and but. What I'm trying to say is Purdy came up clutch in big games and got them to the, versus the Eagles. There was an injury. So we didn't get, but he was playing for all the pressure that was on him for being the last guy picked ever, not ever, but overall, he came up, dealt with the pressure and succeeded, brought that team. You got McCaffrey, they did well. So now they do have film on him. So the energy is going to be much different than when you're the exception. Now, are you the guy you're going to keep competing? But I part of me thinks, all right, there's that example with Brady, and he did come up clutch, so he has that gene to be able to carry the weight of pressure and still deliver for a team. Now, it was a good team he was on, so that helps. On the other hand, though, I do think to when you have similar situation, and I know I'm an Eagles fan, but Foles and Wentz, whether I don't think, in the benefit of hindsight, if I'm the 49ers, I think you keep both, try to play Purdy while the hand's hot is what I would do. And then I think people are dumping Trey Lance too early. He hasn't played enough.
Exactly.
But if Purdy showed really great promise, that I wouldn't just put Lance in.
Yeah.
If Purdy's fully healthy, 100%,
Purdy
not being rushed at all, then I think you start Purdy and then let him ride.
Yeah, he's definitely earned the right to keep the starting job and play. Yeah. But I do think that eventually it will catch up to him. Like you said, with Foles, guys like Mike White, they have these great stretches, and you're like, wow, these are really great. But then Nick Foles the next year comes in and plays after the Super Bowl. They don't start off too hot. Now you get the Carson Wentz thing. It's going to be the same thing with Trey Lance. They're going to see what he's about. I'm not saying Trey Lance is the next coming, but he's going to get significant playing time. Believe that. Believe that they have to figure out.
Can we all agree he hasn't had enough playing time?
Yeah,
for being a third overall, we haven't seen much of him. So
of course,
and to be fair, in training camp he hasn't gotten too much reps, and the reps he's gotten, apparently he's struggled a little. But yeah, I agree, he hasn't played enough. He still needs more experience, even though it's his third year or so, right? People would expect more development by this point, but yeah, they should give him more playing time and then make an assessment. But yeah, don't people, they shouldn't automatically commit to Brock Purdy for long term and say he's a franchise guy, because
definitely
it's far from that now.
No, he pretty much is.
The franchise.
You just kidding. I know John's just kidding.
I'm not. Okay.
Wait, you think they should lock him up?
Yeah, this guy's the franchise. He's the guy.
I like him, but I wouldn't go that far.
He was the last pick.
You guys will see.
That's an underdog. No, I like that's an underdog story though. That's why I can't rule him out. I think he showed promise, but I think it's too early to say give him be the face of the franchise.
Caleb, that's what I'm saying. That's why he performed so well last year. He didn't really have much pressure. He had nothing to lose. People expected him to lose, but he's like, okay, people expect me to lose anyway. Let me just relax.
And no one was behind him. No quarterback was behind him. Now he's got Trey Lance, number 3 pick, right on his butt the whole season. So every time he makes a mistake,
that's just gonna motivate him.
He's just gonna keep thinking about it.
This is the next level.
Dude, this guy
at the first,
is solid. Yeah.
Pressure can burst pipes. Burst pipes.
That's very, very good saying. I don't know if it applies. We'll see. Because I'm more bullish on Purdy. I'm a little more with John. I'm not as hype as you are, John, but I do like him. But going back to the Cowboys, Jonathan, you like Dak?
I like Dak. I mean, he's better than nothing.
It's too late now to change him out. He's only.
Would you
got a
rather
few
have
years
Purdy
left.
on the Cowboys?
Oh no, I'd rather have Dak. At least he can use his legs a little bit. I mean, Purdy can use his legs a little bit. Like
Yeah,
again,
he
it was
was
a
a little.
one-time wonder. Dak has more experience. He's been in the playoffs. He's won a couple playoff games. He beat Tom Brady. He ended Tom Brady's career. Okay, we could say that.
Oh gosh.
And so, yeah, I think Dak is solid. He's solid. He can get the job done. But we have Tony Pollard. We have Deuce. Just give him the ball. We'll win the game.
I'm as an Eagles fan, I'm a little more worried about the Giants before
Yeah.
the season
Damn.
starts.
Yeah.
Really? You think?
I respect. I mean, the Cowboys. You got a good team, good defense, but I think as long as Jerry Jones is, calling the shots, it's a shadow that's too long. I don't think he's a like. I think McCarthy's good, but Jerry Jones puts so much pressure on him unnecessarily, and I don't think he gives him the right tools to succeed. So I think, I'm more. I think fundamentally, as an organization with Dayball and what they're building.
Oh yeah.
As an Eagles fan, before the season starts, I'm a little more worried about the Giants.
This is the first year in a while, I think, that each of you each think that your own team is going to win the division.
Yeah. Giants will.
Yeah, Eagles. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we can agree.
The Cowboys are too dominant. They probably win this.
And
oh
we're not.
my gosh,
To
usually
listeners, we're not strategically doing this. We each genuinely believe this. So, Jared, who would you pick?
wow. Well,
Jared
usually
knows it.
okay. Usually, John, you're always pessimistic about the Giants, and you're like, they're definitely not going to win it.
Right.
So now you're going into a season where you actually are going to be cheering for the Giants.
Yeah. They're
great.
They're the real
Optimistically
deal.
cheering. 'Cause you've always
Optimistic. You
wanted them
always
to win.
cheer.
Right. I always wanted them to
You're
win.
realist.
Yeah.
You're always realist.
Yeah.
For the listeners to this podcast, just an FYI, Jared deep down inside has always been a Cowboys fan. Ever since we were roommates, he loves the Cowboys. We used to watch Cowboys games together and everything. He says he's a Chargers fan, but he really loves the Dallas Cowboys. And I know he believes Cowboys are going to win the division.
All right, now
So.
this is the made up part of the podcast.
Guys, that was made up.
Well,
No,
I've jumped around a little bit because I was a big Jalen Hurts guy when he first came to the Eagles, so I was kind of like hoping the Eagles would win so he would start and do well. So
Yeah.
I was on the Eagles. Then a couple years went by. Then I was on the Giants for a while. Then they disappointed me. The Cowboys, I believe I picked them like two or three times last year. Let me
Yeah.
down a little bit, I'll be honest. So, look, the Commanders looked pretty good last night. I think they have a great quarterback, Sam Howell. Terry McLaurin, if he stays healthy. Dotson. I mean, that is a pretty mediocre team, so I think they'll come in last. Look,
That's disrespectful.
I'll
I
tell
wouldn't
you
go there.
this. I'll tell you this. The Eagles ain't winning it. I'll tell you that. And the reason
Why?
being is it's not that they're not the best team, but history, like I say every year,
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
it's a different team every year,
It is.
guys. Since 2004, no team in the NFC East has won back-to-back division championships. It's not changing now, unfortunately. It's
2004
just
would have been
not.
the Eagles, wouldn't it have been? Was it?
Eagles did win 4 straight from 2001 to 2004. So if any team
the
was going
pattern
to
might
do
have
it,
to start.
yeah, if there was any team to do it, it would be the Eagles. It would be. I didn't
No,
think of
I know,
that.
but history. I actually am aware of the history of it. I do like the Eagles. I do have a lot of respect, more so than in previous years, for the Giants and Cowboys. Not to beat a dead horse, but I think I would be more pessimistic had we. I mean, no, I wouldn't be pessimistic, but like it's a different energy when a team wins the Super Bowl and then having to go back to it. There is that. Like, I think there's a stronger statistic, psychological reason.
And you have a
to
tough
not get
schedule.
back.
You got a tough
Ye-
schedule.
Yeah, but I think we were legitimately good. Are legitimately good. So
I
I
would-
think that'll hopefully silence the
I'll
critics.
tell you that. I'll tell you this. In order of likeness, Jonathan, Cowboys are third.
Oh,
First is 100% the Giants.
yeah.
'Cause
100%.
now Jared's a little biased
Yes.
now because he's from New York.
No, yeah.
That
I mean,
is
I know
that
you-
is
I know you-
that
I
is
know you're
true.
from New Jersey, but
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, yeah, we are in Connecticut from New York. I feel like the
You live-
Giants. Yes,
man.
live with a Giants fan. But then second is the Eagles because I really respect Jalen Hurts. I was high on him right from the start,
Yep.
and for the
More than
Eagles,
me.
I can't like brush off that they have one of the deepest rosters in football. So you just can't overlook that. And the Cowboys, unfortunately, I don't hate them. I just want them to lose sometimes. So that's the only time. It's only sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes I watch a game and I think I want the Cowboys to win this, but only sometimes.
Think of how happy like America would be if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Everybody
no.
would be happy.
I
Be
think
riding in the
we're
streets.
just as happy if the Giants win.
No.
No, my two factors growing up as an Eagles fan, other than obviously the Eagles winning, was A, if Tom Brady lost, that was a good day. And then B, maybe A and B, maybe there's two A's here, is the Cowboys lost. That was my standard. But not to be a dead horse, the one factor I do want to add is Commanders without that ownership. Who knows?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll pick my division winner when we have our division winners podcast very, very soon. Maybe next week or the week after. But it's coming, and you guys will know who my favorite is for the NFC East. I already got it, so there's no research done, but just know that I have it.
Yeah, I have it for many divisions. I've been watching.
No, yeah, I already
this whole
know.
summer.
It's easy this year.
All right. Am I the only one who's like, let's
take some
wait
time
till the season starts?
Can I get a mulligan like 1 week? Just let me redecide after 1 week.
Yeah, we need to definitely come back to these after the season. Anthony Richardson is going to be good.
Nope.
What did I say?
Brock Purdy is going to be
Brock
good.
Purdy. Man, John.
Jonathan, I don't know why you do this to yourself. You don't have to.
No, because I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Wow. So we've had 2 podcasts and I think probably 6 predictions already.
Where's our big board?
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to keep track. I'm going to have to go through all these. These aren't even like official podcasts yet.
That's what I'm trying.
We're not even like in it
That's what
yet.
I'm trying to say. We're not in the real season and we're making such concrete statements. like give yourselves some breathing room. That's why I was like, Purdy, yeah, he shows promise. I'm not saying he's number 1.
It's all absolute. It's like all or nothing.
Deuce Bond was clearly the steal of this draft.
No.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. 2 topics in 50 minutes. What a record that is. We all knew that the Dallas Cowboys, that just riles up everybody. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And we will be back next week to talk any NFL news that happens. Some of the preseason games are going to happen this week. Obviously, Anthony Richardson, Jonathan, we're going to see him Thursday night against the Eagles. So everyone would have already seen that. We're gonna report back next week. So you better hope he does good.
I mean, look, I don't expect him to do great. I mean, Eagles defense is good in general.
Oh, come on.
I don't expect him to do great, but I'm telling you, by the end of the season, everything I've said is gonna be right.
No.
From the Eagles, from the Anthony Richardson to Brock Purdy to the Broncos, whatever I said is gonna be right. You guys are gonna be saying, "Oh, Jonathan, you."
All right, we need to make a board of this stuff. This is just too
Well,
easy.
this is why we do this podcast, because this is what we would do. So let's see.
Verbal agreements. Yeah, so check back in next week to see if Jonathan's still high on Anthony Richardson and many more NFL news that we talk about. Thank you guys again so much for watching and listening, and we will see you guys next week.